Probably couldn't ask for a better backdrop for a birthday.
Just because we're out here doesn't mean we can't be civilized.
What Christian brought me. That's amazing. You made these yourself, Christian?
Yes, sir, my man.
That is so awesome. You made them for one for everybody.
Yes, sir. 5 of them and the big one for. And after that, if you do some cooking, you can use the pot as a pot.
Oh, great. I thought I was going to come out of here later, but now I got to come out of here with one of these things in my bag.
You're gonna burn it. So we've made it to Glacier Lake, and tonight I'm gonna cook frog legs with a mushroom soup. And luckily for these boys, they get to try out chanterelle mushrooms, my favorite mushroom of all time. I happen to get my hands on 2 pounds of them, so we're gonna make some chanterelle mushroom soup and frog legs for dinner tonight. Should be amazing. Glacier Lake is absolutely beautiful. Sun's gonna pop out again behind that mountain, and let's get cooking. Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna get our mushroom soup working, because that's gonna take the longest. I want it to cook out. I want those mushrooms to cook perfectly. We have these beautiful chanterelle mushrooms, delicious, earthy flavor to these guys. So let's get them in the pot with some onions and some garlic butter, and we'll get it cooked down, and then we can start flavoring our soup, building our flavors from there. And then after we're done that, then we'll fry up our frog legs, and then we'll make dinner and plate it up. So let's get going. Cut these onions up first. So we just want to small dice these onions up, a nice brunoise, and we'll get them in the pot. And you can tell when I'm cutting this, I'm cutting on the opposite side of the core of the onion, and I'm just leaving that hole, following the axis of the onion as I cut it. Then I'll just go back through. Comes out in a nice small brunoise dice. Got all of our onions in here. We'll put a little bit of olive oil on that, salt and pepper, and start cooking it down, and we'll add our mushrooms to it right away. Let's grab our chanterelles. If you see any dirt or wood on them, you just want to clean them up. A nice way to clean them is clean the stems underneath. Just run your knife along the stem of it. Clean them up. That'll separate you from the next guy making this chanterelle mushroom soup. You know you made yours better. Here's another good one to show you. I'll pull some of that. Anything that looks like dirt, you want to pull off of it. Some guys in the kitchen will use a brush for that, and brush the dirt off, but just the edge of your knife, go light, don't press too hard, and you just clean up the stem nicely like that. Cool. I'll cut the stem off. And again, we want a nice small dice. I wouldn't dice it up this small if I was at home. I would just use a Vitamix blender or a hand immersion blender, but we want a nice small dice. That way we don't have massive chunks in our mushroom soup. The sun is coming out from behind the hills there. I'll give you a nice view of the lake. You can see what I'm looking at while I'm prepping here. That in the pot. Pot's starting to warm up. I know some people have told Marty not to put his pot over the heat before he puts anything in it, but I'm gonna tell you otherwise. I want that pot hot before I put the mushrooms and the onions into it. Get our olive oil going. Okay, our oil's warming up. I don't want it smoking hot. I don't want to get it over the flash point, but it's nice and warm, nice and hot. You can see it. We want our mushrooms and our onions to cook together at the same time. That way the mushrooms can release their water and then start cooking down after that. Put our seasoning in here. We got some fresh thyme and some dried oregano from Greece. Friends whose wedding I was at last year brought this oregano for me, so it's quite delicious. Now you can see the mushrooms are kind of dried out. They've released all their moisture content, and then we've cooked all that moisture content out, and they've started to brown in color. So that's when we're going to add our dry seasonings to this. So we got our thick creme from Carnation. This is how we're going to add our fat to this. Hope we got the camera. Add that and some water, and we're going to let that cook out.
Santé.
Oh. Christian hiked in these 5 Pepsis. A maniac.
And 5 beers.
And five beers, and I brought along my Dodgers cup to have cocktails on it.
The future Hall of Famer's got a ring. This was, the pitchers had a field day today.
So mushroom soup is nice and hot. We're just letting it kind of cook down. It's gonna be delicious. JT already said we're good. We taste tested it. We're getting this pan warm. We'll put a little bit of olive oil in there, and then we'll put our garlic butter in there, and we'll add our frog legs to it. We're gonna pan fry our frog legs, and then we're gonna keep them warm next to the fire.
What's this, Evan?
Garlic butter. Man, does it smell good. Yes. So salt and pepper them, fry them up. Good old Malden salt. Frog legs on the campfire, eh? Right.
So how do you know when they're done?
It's just like chicken. You want to cook it all the way through. So it is amphibious. It is a frog, but unlike fish that you can cook partially, you want to cook this all the way through. So we're going to fry them up, get them nice and brown like that, and then we'll just put them off to the side on the fire. Mushrooms now in our garlic butter.
These are oyster mushrooms?
Seafood mushrooms.
Oh, mashed potatoes.
Now, I thought of bringing the mashed potatoes out for 2 reasons. One, if my soup didn't get thick enough, I could thicken it up with the mashed potatoes. But we're going to make this mashed potatoes, put it in the piping bag, which we're also going to do tomorrow. But we're going to use the mashed potatoes to plate tonight's dinner. So stick around and check this out. So we're gonna plate up JT first in his bowl. Let's throw a little bit of mashed potatoes down here. You'll find out why in a second. Nice little dollop of mashed potatoes. You're making me do this left-handed, but that's okay. Fill it up with that mushroom soup. As Marty says, save some for everybody else. I'll get the frog legs. And we're going to use the mashed potatoes to stand those frog legs up. Just a little sprig of parsley in there. And lastly,
That's not
lastly, our mushrooms. Mushroom soup with frog legs. It's okay, it'll suffice tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. Happy birthday, Evan.
Oh, hey, thanks. Christian, how we doing over here?
So good, Evan. My gosh,
Awesome.
unreal.
my second time eating frog legs in 2 weeks.
And what happened to the first one?
Don't interrupt me while I'm eating that.
Amazing. Well, if you enjoyed the mushroom soup with frog legs, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and check out next week because this weekend doesn't finish yet. I know it's my birthday and these boys are blowing it out of proportion, but tomorrow we're making French onion soup, so that'll be the next video. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you later.
We're vlogging!